So today I'm going to be doing my presentation over olive production in Italy and a couple other things that are going on with the olive trees and olive industry. But first I'd like to get into a little bit of history. From 8th century BC to today, olives have been one of Italy's major agricultural products. They were brought to Italy when the Greeks colonized the southern region. Um, Olive oil was produced from the olives and is also known as green gold. Green gold was and still is a driving economic force and was subject to government control. Um, when the Roman Empire fell and the barbarians raided the nation, the use for olive oil declined due to the fact that the main nation that grew and used olive oils was no longer there. So there was nobody really producing it. Um, and but that all started to change again when in the year 2000 or in the year 1000 a recovery period had started. Large amounts of land had been given to monasteries and convents, and with that land, they started to bring back the olive trees and olives and thus olive oil. And over the next few centuries, a revival had started in Italy altogether. This was due to a increase in international trade. And since this point in Italy's history, Italy has been known for their high quality olive oils. As for statistics, in 2017, Italy was the second largest producer of olives in the world. That year and most other years, Italy produces over 3 million metric tons of olives. The only country that produces more is Spain. They are number one in the world. They produce over 5 million metric tons a year. Olives are grown all over Italy, but 80% of the nation's olives are grown in the country's southern regions. The major production sites include, but are not only excluded to, Sicily, Calabria, sorry, I'm probably going to butcher these names, Sardinia, and Basilicata. The warm climate in these areas they provide the ideal growth and production of the olive trees and thus olive oil. Italy not only distributes domestically, they also distribute internationally. Some of their biggest markets include, but are not excluded to, the United States, Australia, Brazil, and many other states, or in many other countries. So one of the big things going on in Italy, it's actually been going on for a while now. There's been a plague going on hitting the olive trees. For centuries, Italy has always had one of the world's largest and most reputable olive and olive oil productions. But in recent years, the olive tree in Italy has been experiencing some problems. It has been figured out that the origin of these problems is in the Apulia region of Italy near, Gallipoli. Leaves were starting to brown on the trees, and the trees themselves began to dry up and die, and nobody could figure out why. And obviously, because the trees were dying, business began to fall, and so that wasn't good for Italy. Scientists then came and collected samples to find the source of the problem, and they actually ended up finding it. The symptoms exhibited by the trees were those caused by a plant bacterium, and that is Xylella fastidiosa. And here I have a little video to go along with this, kind of explain it some.
For Cosimo De Luca, this is usually the time when a year of hard work bears fruit. He is one of thousands of olive growers in the southern Italian region of Apulia, the nation's biggest producer of quality olive oil. But this year, his business is suffering.
It's a pandemic. Look around. All my trees are dead, and nobody is doing anything about it. They abandoned us.
This is what's killing Cosimo's trees, the Xylella fastidiosa, a bacterium common in the Americas but never seen before in Europe. It's difficult to know how the bacteria reached Italy, but it's clear how it spreads. This is the carrier of the bacteria. It's called the meadow spittlebug. It's a small cicada. It looks harmless, but it transfers the bacteria from tree to tree, which eventually kills them. So far, 800,000 trees were contaminated. That's 10% of the region's total. The cost to local olive oil producers, $300 million. Scientists are trying to contain the problem by cutting down infected trees, some 500 years old. But they say prevention is better than the cure.
This bacteria has been known in the American continent for 150 years, but there is no cure or prevention for it. We can try to contain the disease, but in Europe there is no system of quarantine for plants coming from abroad.
The disease has not yet influenced the quality or the price of olive oil from Apulia, but it's spreading fast, and farmers here say something has to be done soon to avoid this centuries-old tradition going dry. Claudio Lavanga, Al Jazeera, Gallipoli.
There we go. Alrighty. So, as stated in the video, Xylella is a deadly plant bacterium, and it causes the plant to die from dehydration. It is passed from plant to plant by a pest called a spittlebug. Spittlebugs latch on to the xylem of the plant. The xylem are straw-like tubes that move water from the root of the plant to the rest of it. If the spittlebug is feeding from an infected tree, the spittlebug can then pass the infection from tree to tree as it moves on. As stated in the video, there is no known cure for Xylella, and but that's not stopping them from trying to keep it from spreading. Even though there is no cure and the infected plants will die, in 2014, a European Union Commission told Italy that they needed to get rid of the infected plants as to contain the spread of the bacterium to the other healthy plants. And another thing that they're doing, other than just wiping out the infected trees, is the farmers have been instructed to use more pesticides to control the population of these spittlebugs. In conclusion, over the years, Italy has gone through ups and downs in the production of olive oil and olives. Though things have been looking down for the past few years, they are now showing signs of revival of the nation's industry in olive production. and this is my source page. I'll go in a little bit closer for you.